All right, good evening, ladies. This is another episode of Pumpamentals, and in this video, we're going to talk about the trenches because the trenches are well and truly back. So we're going to go through all the top meme coins of the week, if Bitcoin and cryptos kind of break out, and yeah, a few other topics. So, how's it going, Comfy Jen? How's it going?
Hey, mate. Yeah, good, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, things are looking nice. We've had a nice week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trenches are cooking right now.
Yeah, and a couple of the coins and things we were talking about last week have popped off. Most notably, HOUSECOIN. I think we were talking about this last week. I'll share my screen.
We did. You were so on the point with that one. I think it's up crazy since you mentioned it. I think you mentioned it probably like, was it 5 mil or something?
Yeah, I think literally it was here around just before it popped off, and then it got a massive Ansem chill, which is always nice when one of your coins gets a
Hmm.
big Ansem hard chill, and then it just mooned. But yeah, there's a few reasons I like this one, and I'm starting to think that this could be. I feel like every few months there's one PVE runner that just goes crazy and kind of sets a new trend, and potentially this could be the one. But it is quite dependent on Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. But if that doesn't shit the bed, then I think this has more room to run. Would I be buying just under 100 million? Maybe I'd wait for a better entry or like, size in appropriately, like maybe a smaller bag. But yeah, I do still think this has potential upside, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I also ended up buying some after Ansem Shield. I should have bought it when you said, but yeah, I was late on this one. But yeah, I agree. I think it's got, if the market continues, this is the front runner to Farcoin, after Farcoin, because I even see like Rasma. I don't know if you saw, but
Oh,
he
that
did a
video
video
is so
today.
funny. It's so good.
Yeah.
His videos are so funny sometimes. I think I bookmarked a couple of things. I think I bookmarked that one as well. I don't know if I can play it on this, but we'll see. And sorry, viewers, I'm just streaming on a MacBook Air here because a MacBook Pro is busy, so it might be a bit slower. Here's the video, and oh yeah, and this was someone tracking Ansem's wallet. He ate 150k into HOUSECOIN, so that's his. Will I just play this video? I think it's all right. No, I'll leave it. But you can go watch this yourself. It's pretty funny. But I think kind of what I wanted to say about HOUSECOIN um, was, yeah, it's a good meme, but in order to like see memes before they really pop off, you're kind of not just betting on the meme itself, but you're also betting on the main chiller. So I think that's something like if you see an account early and you think, oh, they're really fucking funny. Like this is just for me or for anyone else who's locked in on Twitter and is just completely addicted to Twitter. But if you find an account that's just blown up or just kind of small account, but you think it's going to blow up, eventually there's going to be a coin associated with that person. And then there's two main shillers with this. There's Lexa Pro, and he was real early to like a few coins. So he was just a generally good trader and starting to get a bit of a name for himself. And he's basically going all in on HOUSECOIN. Like this is his main chill. This is what he wants to run to 1 billion. And then the other account is Fapital, and I think we both follow Fapital. But when I saw his
Yeah.
account, like, yeah, his tweets are so funny. Just like saying the housing market is a scam, houses are going to go to zero. So I always thought that was hilarious. And then, yeah, this obviously makes this coin kind of perfect for that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you can identify these kind of main character, potential main character type people who are going to blow up, then yeah, like I agree that, especially that Alexa Pro knew, but that Fapital, yeah, really stood out. And then obviously when Ansem shows, I've not seen him show. Obviously, it was kind of late. Well, actually, I think Ansem showed at 10 mil, so I guess not too late, but Like I've not seen him show like he showed like this since last year, so that was also a good sign as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is kind of like the next wave kind of vibes with the Ansem shield. Not necessarily it's going to go to 5 billion, but yeah, and like another example of like a shiller pumping a coin well. Dip Wheeler pumped Fartcoin to 1 billion by him, kind of, or
Yes.
to 2 billion, and like how he was just a funny account. He was just a really good account.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
wait,
I think he's what's that guy's name? Bob Lax, I think is his alt account. But yeah, he's really good at shilling.
yeah, and when you think about it, Goat was the main meme out of that, and he somehow got Farcoin to flip Goat. Like, I remember when Goat was 10 times the valuation of Farcoin, and then it inverted, and now Farcoin's like 20 times the valuation of Goat. And like, they came from the same AI, they're the same kind of uh the same narrative, but just had a better shillers for Farcoin, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and Goat was holding tons of Farcoin, right? And then the founder sold it OTC to
Yeah,
like Wintermeat. And
just
that was the
dumped it.
top signal of Farcoin because Wintermeat, I guess, is
Yeah,
always a top signal. But hopefully they're out now. I don't know. And it's fine
yeah,
now.
it came
So
back.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like I was saying, every few months there always seems to be a new PVE runner. Like the first one that I can remember was Pepe, and it kind of set its own narrative. And yeah, ETH meme coin started doing well off the back of Pepe. Then there was probably Bonk and Whiff, kind of the same idea, and that was just like that was the craziest meme coin super cycle after Bonk and Whiff just went crazy. And then Farcoin is kind of doing its own one, and maybe HOUSECOIN now. It's like 3 months later, a new runner comes out, so this could be it. I'm not necessarily saying I'm 100% convinced, but it's kind of maybe halfway through its growth phase.
Yeah, I agree. It's the one that always gets the most attention, which was Farcoin and probably still is Farcoin as number one. But HouseCoin is, especially with Ansem and now Rasma, and yeah, it's really kind of. I think everyone knows about it now. So yeah,
Yeah, and I suppose it's kind of the new narrative or the new idea is kind of, well, it's not new. It's actually going back to the OG, as in like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Fart Coin, House Coin, like putting coin at the end. So that could be like
Mhm.
a little small new trend that's popping off again. It's like return to fundamentals. What is it? Reject modernity, embrace. What I forget what that phrase is, but yeah. And then there's also some new other memes popping off on that topic. Neat coin. We both kind of saw this one early-ish. At
Yeah.
you go on there.
Yeah, that one's good. I actually, oh, so annoyed. I saw this scanned it somewhere like 200K, and I thought it was funny, and that's always a good sign because it's not in employment, education, or training, right? So it's a typical Solana trencher, I guess, can identify with it. So, and then yeah, the account is kind of funny too. It's talking about how you're stupid if you have a job. Obviously, you're not, but like it's just memeing that, and yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know how long they can go with it, but I have noticed Fapito is pushing this one, not as hard, but he does talk about NEAT as well. So it's pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same niche or the same category in the fact that, like, the housing, like, boomers left us with an overpriced housing market, and boomers left us with like shit wages. So you might as well become a neat, and houses are a scam, employment is a scam. It's kind of the same idea.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a beta play to HouseCoin, I guess. Um, but yeah, also one interesting about HouseCoin is so there's a guy, well, I speak to a few kind of whale type people, and they're not always right, so you can't just assume a whale is always right. But he did pretty well on Pepe last year, and I asked him, "What are your picks?" And he was like, "It's Fartcoin and then HouseCoin." So that was pretty interesting. I just remember that. Um, I don't think he's in neat, but I don't know. I'll ask him.
um, let me see if there's any other memes we wanted to talk about.
Did you see HOUSECOIN, the Bonk Fun one?
Yeah, I did see that. I missed it. What is that? It's just
So that was one of the first. That was basically the first. Like, so Bonk, the Bonk coin launched their own launchpad. Bonk, Let's Bonk.
yes.
Sorry, yeah, Let's Bonk.fun. And there was like a coin before that, but I think Hasika was like second, but it was like a proper meme. So it's like this famous cat on Instagram, and basically it's like, you know how like Bonk is the dog, so Hasika is like Bonk's cat kind of thing. So they're kind of memeing it that way, and then it kind of took off because Bonk guy bought it pretty early
Oh,
and then
okay.
started shitting it. And then this a lot of Boogles like who are kind of whales in Solana memes were started shitting it. There's I think the guy who made it is I'm just trying to remember his name. It's like this cat. I'm just checking who it is. But this guy is quite respected and I think this guy is like a massive bonk whale and I think he launched it if I'm not wrong. Um yeah, I can't find the name right now, but yeah, I think that's just why it did well. Like, I don't think it's an amazing meme, but I think it's become the top runner on Bonk Fun. So if they kind of want to maintain relevance, maybe they'll push that one to 100 mil or something.
Yeah, interesting. Have you tried out Bonk Fun?
I did, yeah. It's not bad. It's similar to like Pump Fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Do you think
Um,
people would use Bonk Fun over Pump Fun a little bit?
I think some people might because
It's
the
really
money goes back
advantageous.
into the ecosystem because it goes back to buy bonk.
Yeah, that's what I was
Uh,
gonna say. Like potentially, like Bonk could be a play here if they're gonna be starting to make so much money.
agree.
If like Pump Fun has been the biggest winner of the entire um meme coin super cycle. They made probably close to $1 billion. So if Bonk.fun can get like 5% of the market share, 20% of market share, how much? I don't know the specifics, but do you know how much goes back to buying Bonk or anything?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure on the specifics of it, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty. I think all of it goes back to it, but I don't know
really.
how much they collect. I think so. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
we should probably look into that because yeah, look, Bonk is 3x off the lows. That's insane. I know.
yeah,
Wait, 2x off the lows. That's a lot still. So
yeah. I just
yeah,
think
potentially a
they're gonna
long.
have. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I just think they're gonna have potentially an issue maintaining mindshare if they don't have a big runner, and the big runner to me is something that goes over 100 mil because like Hosiko's doing well, but it's like you really just need a high runner because you need people to FOMO, right? Otherwise, people are going to be looking at HouseCoin, which is nearly 100 mil, and kind of just not being bothered about Bonk Fund, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I like it. It's a good initiative. I like what the Bonk ecosystem does, and they're always giving back to the space. So that's
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Yeah, like I think that's well, people will go where they make the most money. But if there's
Exactly.
a choice between a platform of equal UX and equal everything, but one kind of rewards users in a roundabout way, I think people would potentially be interested or prefer using that one. But it's going to be hard to uproot Pump Fun entirely.
Yeah, and then also, you can tell if a ticker is launched on pump fund, right? If it ends in pump, and the same with bonk, it ends in bonk.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you do want to like make only support like bonk or something, then that's something to look out for, I guess. But then
Yeah,
there's loads of like launchpads coming out. So I think before the show we were talking about there's a new one coming. I think today or at least this week is the famous kind of trader Dingaling is launching his
yeah,
own launchpad. I think on
really.
Solana. So yeah, there's so many coming out. It's going to be hard for them to all maintain mindshare, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. And why? What's the advantage of using Dingling's one?
So I don't think he said yet, but one interesting thing is he said, "I'm giving everyone an airdrop immediately." He says, "I'm not going to make
Oh,
you farm points." So that could be because he did that last time. Like in 2021, he made. I think OpenSea was the dominant NFT marketplace, and then he brought out Luxra, but he did an immediate airdrop.
yeah, I remember
Uh,
that. That was a nice
yeah,
airdrop.
yeah. So then people started using Luxra for a bit. So I guess to vamp Pump Fun, who will do an airdrop. Hopefully, I doubt it'll be as good because people just sell their airdrops these days, but it'll
Yeah,
still be interesting. So
yeah. LuxRare was a good platform. I don't know why it didn't really take off or anything. Like it was actually really good, but I suppose Blur just nailed the incentives with the farming, and then everyone just swapped to Blur. But yeah, everyone just kind of stuck with OpenSea because LuxRare didn't really have a good incentive structure. So maybe he'll probably have learned from that, and maybe whatever the new launchpad is, maybe he'll do it well.
yeah, and someone I was saying that to someone, I was like, look, he didn't do looks red didn't last, but he was like, but don't forget, because I don't know if you remember, NFT Ethics did a thread on Dingaling, kind of doxing
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah, this was like a few years ago, and
Right.
it linked him to basically a co-founder of Binance.
Huh.
So that's why he's so rich. So they're like
Jeez.
he's got these connections to list coins. So I mean, he might not, but there's a good chance maybe he'll just really send one of his coins to make everyone go to his platform. So that's quite interesting to me.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Just before I move on, uh, Neat and Housecoin, the two ones that we're talking about, were kind of spawned out of. I can't say this person's name on YouTube, but I'll share his group chat. Kind of, I think they made both of them. Yeah, Dr. Profit. Do you know this guy? Well, his other name is
Uh,
probably
Dr. Profit, he's a guy who's good at charting BTC, right?
no. That's
Okay,
probably a different Dr. Profit.
okay.
This one that I can't say on YouTube and on the screen. Follow this guy.
I can't
Oh,
see him.
sorry, I'm sharing the wrong tab.
Yes, I've seen that guy. Yeah, he's very viral on X.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not obviously not gonna say too long, say it out loud, but yeah, if you can get into that group chat, it's like it's a lot. There's about 500 people in there, so it's extremely hectic. So I don't. You can't go in there all the time, but yeah, they kind of both came out of there, I think. So I kind of saw them in there a bit later.
Okay,
Was there
that's
any?
good alpha.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you can just follow him, and you'll get the winners. He'll start chilling them. So that's just another. It might be a Bob Black's alt. I don't know. I don't think so, but he's kind of in that circle anyway. It seems.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon he's probably not just because HouseCoin,
Yeah, I don't
I know
think
it's
so.
different, but it competes with Farcoin a little bit. But
True.
he could be a Mitch alt, is what I was thinking. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
he seems more aggressive than Mitch, though. Yeah, have you seen everything? Everyone's trying to get Mitch back on Twitter. Free Mitch.
He must be around as an alt, that's the thing. So maybe he's
Yeah,
not that guy, but he's someone else.
he could be. Well, I think I don't know. I think in his Telegram he said no, I'm not. But they're trying to get him back on. Was there any other meme coins you were looking at, or will we move on to one of the topics you want to talk about?
The only other one I'd mention is Dupecoin.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a bit late to this one. So it came out yesterday. I mean, I did see it yesterday, but I didn't have time to research it till today. But to me, it looks pretty interesting as like you know how they were saying what's that word? Internet capital markets. Like they were trying to push that narrative with Jelly Jelly and these kind of existing Web2 business launching a token, but obviously Jelly Jelly was kind of scammy. But this one is like an existing business that has like 800,000. This I haven't verified, but apparently have over 800,000 followers on TikTok, and they sell. It's like some sort of price comparison thing, and it's generating revenue and stuff. But anyway, why it's interesting is because Nikita Bia, who Solana hired, talked about this business like last month before the token came out. And then they happened to launch a token yesterday. So it seems like a legit business that's launched a token. They're trying to add value to it because they did a space. Like I don't know,
So it's not a meme.
it's not a meme. No, it's like yeah, it's like AI meta, but a new kind of meta for software is what I'm thinking. So if this one
Oh,
takes
that's
off,
cool.
maybe yeah, maybe software takes off. Like I don't know if it will. I don't know, but I'm got a little bit of this just because I've taken that kind of thesis on it. Because I know Solana is trying to push this sort of narrative as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But it is all-time high right now. So
This one, yeah,
yeah, this one, yeah. So
5 mil.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
So
that's not too high. I was gonna say that, like, if Bitcoin breaks out and crypto's back on, there's kind of doesn't seem to be a new narrative yet. It's just like, oh, we're just gonna run back meme coins again, but or AI coins, but potentially this could be like a kind of a newish narrative in the fact that it's like software or whatever.
yeah, the only thing you need is so you need a big catalyst. So you need like Nikita Bia to shell it, or Tolly, or like Thread Guy to interview them. You need something big like that to push it. Otherwise, it's going to get stuck. So I'm thinking something will happen with it, just because I know that Solana does support stuff like when they see a big narrative. So I don't know. Maybe it's this one. It launched on a platform called Pat Patinok or something. That coin's doing okay as well. It's some platform where you just say make me a ticker on X, and then
Oh
Pastanok
yeah,
is it?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It launched on there. So
And I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, but yeah, that's really cool.
yeah,
Um,
hopefully it takes off and we see loads of software companies like launch. I could
oh
see
yeah,
it.
did you see it say was Tolly supporting this one?
No, I'm
No.
hoping he does. Like I think we need someone like him to push it.
Yeah.
Because he, by the way, also pushed HouseCoin, which also gave me confidence in it.
Oh, did he? I didn't even see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, this is Graphane part two. Like when he kept pushing Graphane, it kept going higher and higher, and it went
Okay,
to like
yeah,
300 mil. So I was like, yeah, send it. So
yeah. So
You-
with like Jelly Jelly, that was just ended up being a huge grift.
yeah,
Do you think these is it like VC kind of people behind this, or is it like legit founders that are like interested in crypto, or you don't know?
the weird thing is he created it and then he said, oh, I accidentally created a coin. So I found that a bit weird.
Oh, okay.
But
So it's an
like,
accident kind of.
yeah, but then how can you like say make me a coin as an accident? So but
Yeah.
then he said he's backing it. He did a space and he's gonna try and do something with it. I don't know exactly what. So I'll be
Okay.
interested to see. But it's quite interesting, right? Because if you don't want to be buying animals or like these trends,
Yeah.
and then maybe you buy something like this. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Like in the future, like investing in non-public companies, like using crypto rails is like such a much easier way to do it, and that's essentially what all VC coins are. They're just like ways to invest in a crypto business, um, without without having gone through the normal documentation and the normal legal frameworks. You can just launch a coin and then people can invest in your small company. But I think in the future, at some point, you won't just be able to invest in crypto companies on crypto rails. You'll be able to invest in like a software business using crypto rails. So maybe that's kind of like a first example of something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it might not be this one, but yeah, I don't know, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch and
Yeah, that's
see.
really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into this one. And like maybe their business is like, how big do you reckon their business, like what's their kind of revenues or anything? Do you know?
So I'm just having a look online if I can find anything.
Because like, you know, this coin has a market cap of 4.5 million. Maybe that's bigger than the market cap of whatever their company is worth already, and they just launched it, and now they can raise money in such an easier way. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was getting at.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm just trying to find their revenue, but it looks like they raised 5 million in the past.
Okay, so it's much bigger than.
Um,
So it's probably like
yeah,
100 million or something. But still, like maybe other founders will see this. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that.
yeah. Was there anything else any other memes you were looking at apart from like HouseCoin and Neats?
Nothing major. Probably just some small cap stuff. But yeah, that's just being shared in the Telegram group. So join the free or paid Telegram groups if you want. HouseCoin is shared that at 2 million, and then I think in the
Nice.
public one it's 7 million. So if you want to join them, I think you're in both of them, ConfuGen.
Yeah, I need to check them out more. Like,
I don't know, like, you know, everyone has their own group chats. Like, you can't be in it. It's hard to. You kind of just pick whatever group chat and you make friends in the group chats that you use. You can't be in every single group chat all the time. It just drive you crazy. Or you just
yeah,
scan some of them, you know.
exactly. Yeah, like I join every single one I can, but then you have like 10 pinned and you can't really pin anymore. But and
Yeah.
then I check the other ones now and again. But yeah, like you said, you can go crazy because just scans everywhere. So, especially this, especially right now, a lot of people are FOMOing back in to
Yeah.
the trenches, and I'm trying to figure out, is this like going to continue? My gut says yes, but I always try to be a bit cautious. But
Well, I think whether that whether that continues is entirely reliant on Bitcoin, in my opinion. So I'll pull up the Bitcoin chart here. Like we are at the same as last week. We haven't really moved. We're still in this kind of range. Let me get a better chart. So I had this drawn out. I think it was on the Coinbase one. But yeah, we're kind of at a make or break zone here. But as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump massively, I think the trenches should continue. Like anyway, if Bitcoin drops below like this kind of level, we're kind of cooked. But as long as and by that level I mean like this support zone around 88,000, because that looks like should be good support. Not saying it's going to get there, but I think as long as we're going sideways and not dumping to zero, the trenches should be okay. And if we break out here and make towards all-time highs, yeah, the trenches are going to go crazy, in my opinion. So, yeah, I drew this like once we dropped below here, I drew these blue lines kind of saying what to do. And it was like sell/short at this point was what I said I should do. So I did try and short, but it kind of came back up. So I think this support zone is really, this resistance/support zone is really important. Same with this one, we just broke straight through it. So if we can like break out here, you can potentially take a long, put your stop loss below this range or even here, and we could see a run to all-time highs.
Nice. I have a Filecoin long on Hyperliquid, which I just left open, just like you know, and I'm just gonna leave it open because I just feel like it's like a leverage bet on Bitcoin for now. Anyway, it could change, but for
Yeah,
now.
true. Yeah, Filecoin. Although I saw the funding for Filecoin is like 100%. So I would just buy it spot if I were you.
Oh, so you'll say so by what do you mean by that, by the way? So when funding is 100%, what does that mean?
It means basically if you held that long open for a year, you would pay 100% interest.
Right.
Yeah. So it's if you're only holding it for a few days, it actually is nothing really. It's like 1 or 2%, which or less if it's only a few days or a few weeks. It's not going to be a big deal, but kind of what you can't like what big money does. They'll just buy the spot and then short Filecoin perps. So they'll buy, so then they're delta neutral and just getting that 100% APY.
I never knew that actually. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did that, but like, you're only going to make a few dollars every few days and the APY will change as well. So you kind of have to monitor it as well. And you have to make sure you don't get liquidated.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know how that is, how easy it is to get liquidated.
Yeah. So
leverage is not my thing, honestly. So
yeah, I'm just trying to learn it now. And I'm, somewhat like trying to crawl back up to profitability slowly. I think I'm getting there, but still not technically profitable yet. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
I've got a friend who just leverages one coin only, so Sui. So he knows the chart so well that he will just long and short that chart. He's not always right, but he's been doing pretty well just because he's got an idea of how it moves for now. Obviously, it could change, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any opinions on what's next? Like, I kind of think, yeah, we can long a breakout of 95K. That's what I had written there, which we're kind of doing. But I wouldn't say we've fully broken out yet. But at the same time, like, I don't know. It just, like, I'm not sure the macro situation has really resolved itself fully yet. So I'm just probably like everyone, just kind of have no idea what happens next. This is kind of hard to read.
Yeah, same here. Like, I feel like the bad news is priced in, but then you never know with the Trump administration. So
Yeah, but there is like these knock-on effects from this tariffs. Like it's a global unwinding of trade and all this. Yeah, macro BS, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's just like, oh, we can just fucking we can just forget about all that. I think there already has been impacts that can't be reversed, kind of stuff. But yeah, macros. I find it, well, it's not boring. It's just like, whatever. I just want to invest in interesting projects and buy some funny animal coins.
Yeah, same here, same here. I feel like the fact that memes are doing well is a good indicator for, and crypto in generally leads before equities move. So, and also it dumps before equities dump. So I feel like we're in a good situation, but you never know, right? Because it could be a fake pump, a fake whatever, fake out, whatever. So I don't know, but you just got to take a view. I feel like you have to be long or short. You can't be both in a way. So otherwise you kind of get wrecked. So just take a view, have some stables there as well. And
yeah, I know you're in a nice comfy position in stables, but which I am, I'm someone who is like mostly all in. I'd say this isn't a bad spot to, de-risk a bit if you are all in. And then you can just buy back if we do breakout. Or vice versa. If you have nothing, you could buy a bit on a breakout if you're like fully stabled, and then just sell if it was just a fake out in the end, just sell a few percent lower, something like that. Because we're at a real inflection point here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Was there any other topics you wanted to talk about?
The so I don't know what else you want to talk about, but I know we discussed penguins, right? Pudgy
Oh
penguins.
yeah. Let's pull up that chart because that went crazy, and I think we were talking about that last week, and we said that was a great long.
We did,
And
and I didn't open it. Great.
no, yeah, me neither. But I still am holding, I think, most of my airdrop anyway, so I was happy to see this. Let's pull back a little bit here, but yeah, that's a giga pump, but it's still down quite a lot from, well, it's down massively from where it opened. But yeah, that's a nice 4x off the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason this has been doing well is we should actually do this. They're basically like rewarding creators who are shilling or like spreading awareness about Pengu, and you can actually earn money for doing that. So I don't know if you saw that, like abstract creator program or something like that. So we should probably send this video in. Maybe we'll get a couple of quid.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I think yeah, I think it's a good scheme. Like it's a good way to raise awareness, right? Of the project. It's kind of like Kaito, but they're just doing it themselves. Um, and yeah, I think Luca bought 5 million of his own coin, which I kind of liked because if a
Yeah,
founder is backing his own token, that's actions speak louder than words, right? So that was cool to see as well.
yeah. You can't really fade Luca. If you ever watch an interview with him, he just gets you so bulled up on the Pudgy ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. He was even saying, I saw another clip today that he's predicting abstract to be between 5 to 10 billion market cap, which is like
Jesus.
not possible in my opinion. Because, well, I mean, I would like it to be possible, but based on other valuations of layer twos, it's wildly higher. But I can see it being like one of the highest though to launch. So, but it's nice to see as well that he's really like backing his product. So, I don't know. What do you think of that valuation?
Yeah, what are the other? I think they're like, what are the other layer twos valued at? Like abstract, what, like 3 billion? I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to value layer twos, but I suppose, yeah, I have no idea to be honest. Let's see how the little pudgies and pudgy penguins are doing.
The little pudgies that have like repriced like the
Really?
ratio. So yeah, I feel like people know something about the airdrop for little pudgies.
Okay, so pudgy penguins are 11.6 and
Yeah.
little pudgies are 1.5. So yeah, a little bit. I think they used to be 10 to 1 and now what, 7 to 1 or something.
Yeah, I found that pretty interesting. But it also might be just that people, they don't want to spend that much on a big pudgy.
Yeah,
So, they just buy a couple of little pudgies, which
easier
is
entry.
easier entry. You can then sell one if you want on a pump and hold one. Um, did you see that one of the biggest pudgy holders sold yesterday?
No. Oh, so the backwards facing one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I saw that.
he took a 200K loss on it.
Yeah. What, did you see why?
Yeah, I did. He tweeted that. So basically, Wale Swoosh did a thread on Rarity and basically said it never pays off to buy rares. And he quote tweeted that saying, "Yeah, exactly." He thinks so with Pengu, he didn't get extra for having a rare, and he's like, people with loads of little pudgies got similar to him, and
Jesus,
uh,
yeah. I suppose
which
you would
I
be
don't
a little
blame
bit.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, it would be kind of cool to own the most rare Pudgy Penguin. Like, he had the most rare one. So, even though you miss out on the airdrop, you should have a massive premium. And he probably could have sold that for a lot more if he had waited. If he had waited for the right buyer.
yeah, someone even commented saying they would have paid way more for that, but he just took a bid. So
Yeah. So,
I guess he was just
well,
mad and he wanted to sell it.
yeah, some people have too much money.
But you know what? I remember his buy. It drew its like massive attention to the collection
I remember it
when he
too,
did that.
and I
Yeah,
thought it
so
was a
I
retarded
picked
buy.
same,
Yeah,
and like I think they should probably like make it up to him somehow because like I think he did a lot for the brand. So I don't know if they don't have to, I guess. But and to be fair,
yeah,
he grew his brand from doing that. Like he became famous in the space, right, from doing that. So
yeah.
I guess he's benefited from it as well. So
I want to see how these are doing in USD because, like we said last week, when you're looking at NFTs in Ethereum, they look okay, but then when you look in USD, it's a different story. And these are actually doing okay in USD. So obviously, this was the Pengu airdrop. They pumped massively into that 7K, big drop, big drop. And it looks like they've bottomed out here. It looks like back in an uptrend. I don't like charts with lines instead of candles, but yeah, you can still kind of tell. So it looks good in USD, which is important.
yeah, yeah, agree. Oh, is that the so that's the NFTs? Yeah, I agree. Like I actually picked up a little pudgies last week.
Nice.
When I saw Pengu was moving, I was like, I'll pick up some little pudgies because I haven't done much farming on abstract because I know you've been quite big on that. We were talking about it last week. I was like, can I just shortcut this by buying
Yeah.
little pudgies because I'm
Yeah.
lazy. Um, and yeah, I'm probably just gonna hold them for now, even if they retrace. I don't really mind
Yeah. I
um,
wonder
too
when that
much.
abstract airdrop's dropping. I say that'll be a nice one.
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't
looking
mind
forward
just
to it.
like flipping one into the like a pump when the airdrop comes is announced, and then just holding one, seeing
Yeah,
what's the
that's
airdrop we get.
that's a good strategy. I think. Like I know Lucas says it's going to be 5 to 10 billion for abstract, but yeah, I wouldn't count on that.
No,
Better to
I
sell it.
would say it's the best. It is the best like pre TG L2 I've seen though so far. Like it's been pretty good, right? With the apps like Bitcoin and like Multiplier and some of the like on-chain heroes. Like they've had a lot going on,
Yeah,
streaming. So
yeah. I really enjoyed using it actually. To be honest, to be fair, um, yeah, it's a bit of a different experience than basically every other chain. Like not even at layer two, it's a different experience than other chains, and the fact that it's just so simple. So yeah, it's really cool in that sense.
yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think it should do good. Like um yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it launches at. If how I reckon they're probably waiting for Bitcoin to break all-time high and then they'll do the airdrop because it makes more sense because then they can send it. And also the other reason why I was looking at Lil Pudgies was I was like, I have ETH and ETH is just underperforming. And I was like, what would overperform ETH? And I was like, probably, if anything, it's probably Pudgy Penguins. That was just my thesis. I could be wrong, but that's the reason what led me to buy them as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Were there any other topics you wanted to touch on?
No, I don't think so. How about yourself?
Um, no, but maybe we should give a couple of predictions for next week because we did really well last week.
Sure.
Were there any coins you vaped into that you think might be nice for the rest of the week, or just the same ones?
So just the same ones, like I could predict on those ones if you want.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I predict HouseCoin will go as long as this is dependent on the market, right? Like you
Yeah,
said. So as long as the market remains bullish or similar, then I think HouseCoin will go to 200 mil next week, or around there. And Hosico could go to like maybe 50, 60 mil. Yeah, those are my two predictions. How about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into this Dupe one, and also I kind of want to look into the Bonk.fun platform. I think, like you said, Hosiko is a runner there, but I think there could be another big runner
I do think
birthed on
Dupe.
Bonk.fun.
I kind of didn't want to jinx it, but I do think Dupe can do pretty well too.
Okay.
Because the only reason why is because while we were talking about Dupe, it just kept retracing. So I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I don't jinx that one. But yeah, I think I think if it can take off, Dupe could go to like 50 mil or something.
Okay. I bet 8%.
Um, well, I don't know. I don't want to create FOMO because like I'm always right. But in terms of Bonk fun, yeah. Hopefully, like you can see the guy Soulport Tom. I think he's the guy like running the show. I don't know if you
Oh
know
yeah,
him.
I've seen that account. I was like, why is this account blowing up so much? So he created it, did he?
I think he's just a big backer of it, but he is very
Right.
big. So all the
Yeah.
Solana OGs know him. I don't know if you do as well from 21 because his
Yeah.
collection did so well. I forgot the name of it right now, but
Okay.
um, it started pumping again because I guess he's back. But I remember people were saying his collection is like like how people were mad about Frank D Gods. This
Yeah.
Soulport Tom had a cult status. I think it's what was it
Yeah, I don't
called?
remember him, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's say Saul Portom. Yeah, this poor laptop can't handle this.
I have a MacBook Air. I feel the pain. Honestly,
Yeah.
even opening MetaMask just like crashes my laptop sometimes.
I can't. Yeah, MetaMask is just a joke.
Yeah,
So it must be this one, Tyro Robotics.
that's the one. Yeah, they
Yeah.
used to be a 200 Sol floor, but obviously when Sol was
Jesus Christ.
way lower. But yeah, people were like, "This is the future of everything." Like they were that bullish on it at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would follow and because he's made his wallet public and he's like aping stuff. Like I don't think it's
Really?
working, but because it's
Okay.
kind of forced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just follow him anyway, just in case because I know they want to push AI as well on Bonk Fun. So
Yeah, I think there'll be a big runner on Bonk.fun. That's my prediction. And then yeah, I'm not gonna copy yours, but yeah, I'd be very happy if your predictions came true as well. All right, man. Well, might wrap it up there then.
sounds good, man.
All right, great conversation as usual, and I'll catch you again next week.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Thanks a million. Appreciate it, and thanks everyone for watching. See you later.